Okay, friend, there is one particular clip in this video where I think I figured out what it is that he's talking about, and it ain't good for Gaza. It was in that video clip where he was talking about skedaddle and bomb go boom. This clip.
And then they said skedaddle, the word skedaddle. And that plane went like this. You know, when it drops a bomb, it goes down very sleepily because that gives it a better angle and, you know, more speed for the bomb. Very, very heavy bombs. And they go boom. And as soon as those things, the one pilot, the first one said, skedaddle. And that thing just turned in its side. And it's so unbelievable. And that knocked out Iran nuclear capability, and all of the Middle East became a different place. And now we have peace in the Middle East. And at the United Nations today, they approved the Board of Peace, which is I'm going to chair. And we're picking the leaders or the heads of the most important nations in the world. I think it'll be a board like no other than perhaps the McDonald's board. You have a very good board. You actually have a very good board. But nobody thought a thing like that was. This just happened today. The Board of Peace, and it's going to be comprised of myself and leaders of other very important nations and very respected nations, and it's going to be something I think is going to be very important. It was just approved. It was just endorsed by the United Nations. It was pretty great. And then they said, skip.
The Board of Peace is in relation to the plan for Gaza in the future. Yesterday, or the day before yesterday, the United Nations approved Donald Trump's 20-point plan for Gaza and to bring peace to the Middle East. You can read more about it in this article with the Associated Press. Here's a snippet from the article. It says the vote, that's the vote from the UN, the vote endorses Trump's 20-point ceasefire plan. I want to remind you that ceasefire that he was bragging about between Bibi and Gaza, it was never signed by either party. So it wasn't a legitimate ceasefire plan. This is where journalism continues to fail the American people. They call it a ceasefire plan, but neither party signed on to the ceasefire plan. But okay. The vote endorses Trump's 20-point ceasefire plan and builds on the momentum of the fragile ceasefire he helped broker with allies. It marks a key next step for American efforts to outline Gaza's future after the Israel-Hamas war destroyed much of the territory and killed tens of thousands of people in Gaza. The proposal calls for a yet-to-be-established Board of Peace as a transitional authority that Trump would head. It also provides a wide mandate for the International Stabilization Force, including overseeing the borders, providing security, and demilitarizing the territory. Authorization for the board and force will expire at the end of 2027. Arab and other Muslim countries that expressed interest in providing troops for an international force has signaled that UN authorization was essential for their participation. Russia, which has circulated a rival resolution, abstained along with China on the 13-0 vote. After fears Moscow might use its veto in the Security Council. However, Hamas opposed the resolution, saying in a statement that it does not meet the Palestinian people's political and humanitarian demands and rights. Now, this Board of Peace is supposed to bring together leaders from around the world to decide on the next steps of Gaza. There's no mention in this article about leaders from Gaza being a part of Donald Trump's Board of Peace. It goes on to say in this article, the proposal still gives no timeline or guarantee for an independent state, only saying it's possible after advances in reconstruction of Gaza and reforms of the Palestinian Authority, which now governs parts of the West Bank. And I guarantee you, whatever reconstruction of Gaza, in the end, this is what Donald Trump wants it to look like.
Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1.
And all I've got to say is, we tried to tell you.
Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1.